DJ Hood Shaka, and this is Hood Shaka Live. You feel me? Now peep this, man. I'm looking at the BBC because I get a lot of my news from the BBC, and they are talking about the, what do I call it? The tragedy that's going on. Yeah. The tragedy that's requiring people to get the jab. You get what I'm saying? I'm trying not to mention it because once you mention that, then people start, the YouTube people start posting all kind of crazy stuff on your channel. You know, as soon as you mention it, crazy stuff start popping up on your channel. So I'm trying not to say the name of it, you know. But during this crisis, you know, I was skeptical. You know, I go back and forth with, is this thing real? Is it not? Is it real? Is it not? You know, but I just saw something that, oh man, it made me feel like, wow, this thing may be real. Like really, 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 really real. You know? So I'm going to share this video with you, and I hope they don't hit me for copyright because it's news, so they shouldn't. But who knows, man? Nowadays, people are trying to make money off of so much stuff. Even if you use news clips to spread information, they'll be like, no, you use my news clips. Like, dude, I listened to what you said. It made me concerned. So I shared your news clip in addition to my own comments. But it's like even in news now, they just straight about that money. They don't care nothing about really assisting the people with information. It's like, oh, it's all that monetary motivation. You got me? But I'm getting ready to get into this video. But look, man, something is just majorly wrong with the world right now. And it really saddens me. You know, it really does sadden me. So what I'm getting ready to do is I'll come right back, but we're going to get into this video. But look at what's happening. Oh, man, it's going to hurt your heart. You know, viewer discretion is advised.
International help is being pledged for India as it battles a ferocious second wave of coronavirus, described by Prime Minister Narendra Modi as a storm that has shaken the nation. Almost 350,000 new infections were recorded in India in the latest 24-hour period, and 2,767 people have died. But experts say the actual numbers are likely to be much higher. As the epidemic continues to grow, hospitals are under intense pressure with shortages of beds and critical supplies, including oxygen. In the capital, Delhi, COVID is now killing one person every 4 minutes. Our correspondent Yogita Limai reports from there.
The capital is being ravaged at a frightening speed. With every pyre that burns, India's self-belief is dying. Each funeral is a story of personal loss and national shame. Charanjeev Malhotra has been helping to cremate the dead for decades. Now, he barely ever stops working. I've never seen such a terrifying situation. I can't believe that we're in the capital of India. People aren't getting oxygen and they're dying like animals, he says. We don't even have enough resources to cremate them properly. Outside, Shivangi Mehra is on the phone organising oxygen for the hospital she works in.
Nothing is being done. I don't know government is sleeping or what they are doing. I am totally disheartened in the situation which I am seeing. Government is a literal failure. A person cannot live here in Delhi. A person cannot even die peacefully in Delhi.
She's waiting to cremate her grandfather, who died, she says, because there wasn't enough oxygen. This small hospital in North Delhi is facing a daily struggle.
Ma'am, we have been spending sleepless nights since last 1 week. I mean, at times we feel like crying because we are not able to help patient properly. Every day this is the same scenario. We are left only with 2 hours of oxygen, 3 hours of death, and we are only getting assurance from the system, no oxygen.
And so, families are being told to organize oxygen. At one medical shop, we found people with empty cylinders waiting to buy their own supply for loved ones who urgently need it. For many here, the government's promises of rushing in oxygen are coming too late. Families left asking why something so basic is unavailable.
Every crematorium we've been to, we've seen body after body being brought in. It's hard for anyone to keep count, but what workers have been telling me is that the real scale of deaths caused by COVID-19 in India is a lot higher than what official numbers reflect. And a lot of those who've died right now have done so because they couldn't get oxygen in time.
Jitendra Singh Shanti runs a group of volunteers here. Even young people are dying. It's a very bad situation. If it keeps getting worse, we'll have to burn bodies by the side of the road, he says. There is a sense of abandonment in this country. Citizens are stepping up to do what a government should, left to fight a vicious pandemic on their own. Yogita Lamai, BBC News, Delhi.
Well, tonight a first shipment of British assistance to India is leaving the UK. Other countries are also pledging support. Our diplomatic correspondent Paul Adams is here in the studio. What kinds of help is being sent, Paul?
Well, Michelle, this was really the weekend when the world stood up and took notice of what's going on in India, not least because a wildfire of infections like that in a country as large as India, 1.4 billion people, is clearly not just a local danger, it's a global danger. And given those numbers, any reaction seems like a bit of a drop in the bucket. But those offers are coming in. The United Kingdom is sending 495 oxygen concentrators, 140 ventilators, and the Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab says there could be more. The EU has activated what it calls its civil protection mechanism, where member countries pool their emergency supplies, again with an emphasis on oxygen and medicines. And the US, perhaps stung into action by moves on this side of the Atlantic, has said that it will immediately supply the raw materials for vaccines, and that'll involve reversing some export controls put in place back in February, and supply protective gear and medical equipment. And Dr. Anthony Fauci, the president's chief medical advisor, has even suggested that the United States could supply India with some of its unused AstraZeneca vaccines. That's a vaccine that has not yet been approved for use in the United States, and it's got lots of it, and it doesn't need it itself. It's already supplied some of it to Mexico and Canada earlier in the year, so it is coming under some pressure to do that for India as well.
Paul Adams, thank you very much.
And tell me that's not heartbreaking. You know, you just got to think about the families. You think about all the individuals who are losing their life. Man, it's just like, what in the world? This is what the world is coming to. It's like, man, what in the world? You know, this type of stuff makes it where you're nervous if you are a parent on raising your children in this type of world. Got all these diseases popping up. People trying to force you to get hit with that jab. Police killing you in the streets. It's like every day it's an additional war. Every single day it's a different type of war. It's like, man, it's like you can't even catch a break. But peace to all the people that's going through turbulent times right now. We as a society and we as a world need to do better by people. We got to do better by people. It's just crazy, man. You're tired of seeing this stuff, man. So tired. You have no idea. But, you know, I understand the cycle of life. So, oh, man. Yeah. It's just crazy. So I'm encouraging you to be a change agent. Work toward change, a positive change. Everybody not going to do it. I get that. Especially when you come from the hood, you just struggling. You just trying to survive. And a lot of times when you're trying to survive, you can't even think about other people. You can only think about yourself because you are the one that's struggling. And unfortunately, especially if you live in America, it's set up where if you are in the struggle, it's almost impossible to get out of that struggle. If a few get out of that struggle, then they like, oh man, yes, I made it out of that. I'm never going back to that. It's just crazy. But look, man, work a plan to help yourself and stay focused, stay safe, and support the hood.